We're very excited to have with us and feel privileged to introduce Keynote Kongjian Yu from Beijing. He's the founder of Turnscape and a Peking University professor, and he's also the founding dean of its College of Architecture and Landscape. As an illustrious landscape architect, Kongjian has won numerous international awards with his groundbreaking work, particularly with sponge cities, which have been adopted by the Chinese government as the guiding theory for its nationwide ecological campaign. Kongjian will share with us his ideas on how Sponge City starts with home green. Enjoy.
Hello, everyone. Today I'm very happy to have our BBC filmmaker here. I want to make this a chance to talk about the living architecture, the living world. Imagine, a third of energy is consumed by building in China. We have 660 cities in China. 50% of them are suffering flood every year, urban inundation, because China have a monsoon climate. So we have dry season and we have wet season. So during the wet season, all the rivers are flooded, all the cities are flooded. But it's a dry season, they have no water, they run out of water. Particularly in Beijing, for example, in winter it's very dry. So during the winter, people use a humidifier to create a microclimate in order to make comfortable. So we have too much water during the flood season and too little water during the dry season. So that's one big problem. The second problem is that because of the buildings in Chinese city, which in China we have 50 billion square meters of building, and almost none of them is energy efficient. So we waste 30% of energy. And China is have such a big population, such massive urban sprawl nationwide, you can see. All these big problems, how can we save that? Now my idea is that we can save this problem by a very simple, small solution. So imagine if we can save the 30% of energy by creating a green living space. So here's my idea. My own home is a very usual, normal apartment building. I bought about 10 years ago. I bought the 5th floor, and the 4th floor is a loft apartment. So I decided to first of all, I want to collect stormwater. And I want to use the stormwater to irrigate my balcony, to turn the balcony into a productive vegetable garden. And I also want to recycle the water, to use the water to irrigate a living wall. And to use the living wall to air condition the hot summer and create humidity during the dry season in winter and fall. Now this is how I make this wall. So this balcony garden, it collects stormwater from the roof, and this is a living wall. The water comes from the balcony and it irrigates the living wall and it recycle. Here's a pond, the living wall over this existing wall. There's a steel frame here, so it's a recycling water. Stone is natural stone. It began with mosses, and it developed by itself. Here, my house became classroom for educating community members. People come here quite often to learn how to turn their home into living home, into green home. So the whole idea is that if everyone can create a green home, we can virtually have a green planet because we can save 30% of energy consumption. Not only I collect 26 cubic meters of stormwater from my roof. So if every family collects their own stormwater, we virtually collect 30% of stormwater in the city. And there will be no urban flood. There will be no urban inundation because we have other space to collect stormwater, like community garden, community green space, like parks. So about 50 to 60% of stormwater can be collected at the community level. So that's the whole idea. And also, I don't have to turn on air conditioning in the summer, no humidifier in the winter. So I can save 1,000 kilowatts of energy. So here I will show you this green wall. Here you can see. I have stone. The limestone here is very porous. Limestone, it can absorb, retain water. And I have a tank here that stores the water from the roof. I collected from during the rainy season. And it recycles the water. Now the firms are just a very recent, I will say, development in the past 5 years. Before it was mosses. You can see, so it's all natural development, natural evolution. It was mosses, no maintenance. So this living wall is not those living wall. In the airport, you will see many ornamental living wall. Those living wall, you have to fertilize it, you have to light it, you have to irrigate it. But this one, it is low maintenance living wall. You only need one little pump to recycle the water, and natural recover. Natural just evolved based on its own. But you only need some light here, of course, from the window. Now I will take you upstairs to see my balcony garden that collects stormwater. So here is a balcony, the garden that collects stormwater from roof. I will show you how the water is collected and it's stored here. Here is a water tank. If too much water, the water comes from here. But too little water, the water comes from underneath. It's all about, you see the mosses? It create already a habitat here. And here's the pipes from the roof. So when I need more water, I just turn on this garden. Every year, altogether, I can collect 26 cubic meter of water. And the stone wall you have seen is this material. Here is porous. This is porous limestone. So it absorbs water. Absorb water, and then you will see the nature come automatically. So this is stone. The nature began from mosses, and from mosses you get the firm. You get the firm. That's really very easy. So all my wall is made of this one. Nothing else. Very simple. So I have frogs here in the garden, even frogs. And the fish, you can see here, I have fish here. Can turn out. You see the fish inside. Because the fish will eat out all the larvae of the mosquitoes. So we will have no mosquitoes in the garden. So altogether, I tried to turn the apartment as a living architecture. From the roof to the balcony to the wall. You save energy, you save water, so you solve the problem of urban flood, and at the same time, you solve the problem of air pollution because you burn less coal. You can save, altogether, I would say you can save 30% of energy if everyone have such living architecture.
This is the idea of a sponge. Here you see the bubbles for the city, for the parks. And at the back, at my back is another wall. This is a small sponge wall. You can see the living wall irrigated by storm water. It's growing, and this wall is a replication of the wall in my home.